So greetings, immortals. As you can see, I'm wearing a different outfit today. Wait a second. I'm wearing a different outfit today. I'm not gonna be wearing my uniform because, I realized I've been wearing I've been wearing a uniform since 5 times this week. So, there has to be that one day I need to take a break from everything. But still, this will be the same video as always. It's going to be me teaching about a lesson, but this time I'm not going to be wearing a uniform. Yeah, because I just want to be, I just want to make this a very chill video that I don't really have to do much of the whole drama thingy. I'm taking a break because I'm getting pretty sick. I mean, not that sick. Okay, I don't have the virus. Okay, it's just that my allergies have been coming up quite recently and quite often. So, yeah, I need to sleep a lot earlier than usual. Usually, I actually edit my videos and I finish up to like 2 a.m. 2 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, right now I'm starting at 9 p.m. So I have to finish editing this video by like 10. So, yeah, let's just get it on. Anyways, I haven't been able to make videos past few days because I already told you I'm taking a break on the weekends. I just want the weekends for myself, okay? Just 2 days. 2 days. I've been working 5 days in a week, so 2 days. Just give me 2 days to rest. And I'm sorry for all of those who sent me a message during those days, during the weekend. I'm pretty sorry I wasn't able to reply to your messages because, yes, I was taking a break. I'm online at like Monday to Friday, so if you have questions, inquiries, please ask on the weekdays, not on the weekends, please. Okay, so let's proceed now to what this video is really all about. So, do you still remember how you were able to learn how to, write the letters ABC back when you were a kid? Because mine is not that vivid, but I do remember that there were some things before that still remains in my memory. So back when I was a kid, we were able to learn ABC. Now the question is, how was our teacher able to teach us to write the letters A, B, C, D, and up to Z? Now, if you remember, as I remember clearly, of course the teacher doesn't immediately say, "Okay, you write down the letter A," and she asks the students to look at the picture, and then she'll be like, "Okay, copy that one. That's letter A." That's not exactly how it works. So what the teacher does is what you call like guided learning, wherein I'm sorry, excuse me, wherein the teacher actually does it first and then have the students do it afterwards. So I do remember the time that the books that we used to have, there were actually letters already, but these were letters with broken lines. So in order to like achieve the letters, in order to make up the letters, you have to trace the broken lines and you'll be able to form the letters. So that's how I remember how we were able to write down the letters. And of course, our teachers taught us to write these letters properly and neatly. But so far, after all those years, I still can't write for good. I still can't write the letters properly. I still have a really bad handwriting, so yeah. Okay, so now that we've already talked about that experience and we've learned that back when we were a kid, we used to do this whole tracing thing of the broken lines. Now, what we call that line, the broken lines, is what you call an outline. Now, basically, what is an outline? So, an outline actually guides us to the right path or how to do something. So, since there is these broken lines, we get to, what do you call this? We draw the path, we trace down the path of the broken line in order to achieve what we are supposed to be doing, what we were tasked to do. Now, the outline's purpose there is to guide us in order to achieve what we were actually doing. Now, In the context of this subject in academic writing, we also have what we call outlining. So if an outline in general is a guide in order to achieve what we want to do, in academic text, when we say outlining, this actually means that it is still a guide. It guides us in order to create an academic text or an academic essay. That is the definition for outlining in this context. So when we say outlining in academic text, we are actually creating a guide for us in order to create our own essay or paragraphs.
Okay, so I've already mentioned this one earlier. So the definition for outlining in academic text or how it's done. So basically, when you say an outline, it provides a means of organizing your information in a logical order or hierarchical order. For research papers, a formal outline can help you keep track of large amounts of information. But for this time, I will only be teaching you how to create an outline in order to compose an essay, or creating an outline as your guide in order to create your own essay. Now, just a reminder for everyone out there, when you actually say an essay does not only have one paragraph. Just so you know, this has been taught, taught to you for I don't know, for I guess when you were in your high school years, in your high school years. Essays don't just have one paragraph. That is not considered an essay. When you say essay, it contains three structures, three parts. So you have the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. You have a paragraph for each one of those. You can have as many as you want for the body, whatever, just as long as you have those three. Just as long as you have the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Those have to be in different paragraphs. Please don't make an essay with one paragraph, because that is not an essay. In the exams, as long as the teacher says, oh, answer this one briefly and concisely, in that case you can answer that one in just one paragraph. But if your teacher says to write an essay, that's a different case. You have to use the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. That's just a bit of a reminder. Let's get back to the actual lesson. I actually forgot to mention, I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention that there are actually two types of outline. We have the sentence outline and then we have the topic outline. So the difference between these two is just pretty obvious. So when you say sentence outline, you actually use sentences instead of just phrases and words within your outline. So, and then when you say topic outline, you use phrases or words instead of a sentence. In this case, you're actually using just a topic outline. You're not really entirely writing the entire sentence, or an entire sentence for that matter. So I'm going to be showing you now the easy way around in order to create your own outline. Okay, so how to create an outline for an essay. Let's do that. I'm going to be teaching you live here right now. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so how to create an outline for an essay. So let's say, for example, that your teacher wants you to write a certain essay about the topic. This is the hardest part, how to think of a topic. Okay, let's just say your teacher asked you to write an essay about the topic love. You know why? Because you're teenagers. That's something that really matters most. I'm just kidding. That's something that's highly spoken about. So let's just say that the topic for this essay is all about love. So your teacher gave you a very general topic, a very broad topic. So yeah, it's up to you what kind of essay you want to write. So for me, I'm just gonna say I want to prove something. Okay, I'm gonna have to make now my thesis statement. What do I want to prove? What do I want to talk about? Let's say love. God, for an NBS, oh God, I've never been in a relationship before, so this is very hard for me. Love? Love is blind. That's such a, no. Love. Could we say first love never, okay, I'm gonna try to, no. This has to be very critical. This has to be objective. You know what? Okay. So yeah, if you're running out of ideas, just go to the internet and search about topics for love, because literally nothing comes into my head. Ideas about love. Happy relationships. Ugh. Oh, wait. I know one now. About cheating. Yes, the whole Clint Sam Catriona tea. Everyone wants to spill the tea. I'm just kidding. No one wants to spill the tea here. That's not tea, by the way. That's just a bland ass water. It's very lukewarm already. It's as exciting as my life at the moment. So dull. Alright, so let's talk about cheating. It's not love. Okay, let's talk about cheating, right? Cheating. Okay, what about cheating? Let's search for cheating. Okay, cheating. Not favorable to lover. Okay, so basically my whole thesis statement here is cheaters will always be cheaters. Alright, so that would be my thesis statement. Now, what to do with the outlining? What happens in the outline? So now, in the outline, I want to create now. I want myself to be guided when I would write my own essay about cheaters will always be cheaters. So this is the easy way in order to create an essay, the easy way in creating an outline. So what others do when they create outlines is that the Roman numerals, instead of actually putting in the topic there, you actually write here introduction for the first Roman numeral. And then on the second Roman numeral, you write there your body, and your third Roman numeral is the conclusion. Now that you have your Roman numerals, what you want to write down next is what are you going to be talking about in your introduction. So let's say, for example, cheaters will always be cheaters. So what do you want to talk about in your introduction? We can say, for example, that what I want to write on my first paragraph for my introduction is that I will be showing a quotation about cheating. Okay? Or maybe not. That will not be. Oh, what about we can actually write down here a data that shows or proves that cheaters, the people who cheated for the first time, cheated again on their partners. That is actually like a survey thingy. You can actually search for that one on the internet. That is why you need the internet when you're going to be creating academic texts. Now, we have here letter A, so we have here data that shows cheaters cheat after the first time, or cheaters cheat again after the very first time. Okay, so that is what I want to show on the very first introduction. Okay, now if you want to add more, you can actually add more. I'm just gonna write down one, and then on my body here, okay, in my body, we are now going to be writing down the reasons why cheaters will always become cheaters. Cheaters will always be cheaters. Now, this is something that we need the internet
Now,
for,
what
because we need
happens here is that I
already have here
in order to
my
prove that.
body. So I have here the subtopics I want to discuss on my body. So like I said earlier that you need 3 paragraphs for an essay. You can add more to that, especially if your body is pretty long. There's only a limit when it comes to paragraphs. A paragraph should only contain 5 to 6 sentences. It should no longer go more than that. You can actually explain all these 4 things in different paragraphs if you want to. Just as long as you can commit to like having 5 to 6 sentences in one paragraph, then it's okay. And so lastly, now let's go to the conclusion. So what happens here is that I want to write down here that in my conclusion, I will now put. Alright, so some people actually mistaken conclusion for another body, because when they go for conclusion, I'm sorry, the microphone has been away. Oh my goodness. So some people actually some people misuse conclusion. Sometimes they actually add in more information to conclusion. The thing is, conclusion is there just to summarize everything. You're not supposed to add in new information. Just summarize everything that you've said, summarize all of your arguments, and then afterwards you write down your realization, or what have you realized, or what is now the conclusion, or what is now the concluding statement that you have. So in my case, I'm sorry, so in this example, we have here the summarization of arguments, and then afterwards we have here the concluding statement. I'm making it. Okay. So yes, this is now my guide in order to create an essay. So now we have our guide, so now let's create an essay. And of course this will be very, very long, but I'll try to do a time lapse, and I'll get back to you when I get done in making this essay that I just when I'm done making this essay using this outline that I have created. So I'll be back.
Oh my god, guys, you don't know the struggle I had with this. I actually just recorded. I just recently finished recording the whole thing, where I was explaining how it all happened. I'm sorry for that noise, that's my dog. How it all happened. I explained everything already, but the saddest thing was I forgot to turn my microphone on. Do you know how messed up that is? I was talking for 8 minutes straight explaining everything, but my microphone was off the entire time. Okay, so let's just start all over again. So now I already finished creating my essay, and like I said earlier, I used this outline here, this topic outline, in order to create my essay. So I'll just show you how it's all done, how it was all done. So we have here our thesis statement, which is all about cheaters will always be cheaters. I'm sorry for that. Cheaters will always be cheaters. So we have here the introduction, the body, the conclusion. So what I wrote here in the essay, so when I was writing this essay, I was actually looking my at this outline so that I will be guided accordingly what to write in each paragraph. So I wrote here the introduction should be about the data that shows cheaters cheat even after the very first time. So we have here, you can actually add in any title that you want. And for my essay, I'm going to add in once a cheater, always a cheater. So in my first paragraph, this is actually the introduction, the first and the second paragraph. This is my introduction. And it shows the data that cheaters will likely cheat after the very first time that they cheated, unlike those who don't cheat, unlike those who don't actually cheat. Now, I'm not going to read that. If you want to read that, you can actually read that on your own if you want to. And then afterwards, I actually got this. Of course, this is a data. So I took this from a source and I wrote here, I cited the name of the person who wrote this and then the year he published this. All right. Now let's proceed to the second paragraph, to the second part, which is the body. Now, in the body, I actually have here three. paragraphs. So before I started talking about cheaters' high attachment insecurity, I gave out like a small information all about cheating in the Philippines. So when you say cheating, it is a highly regarded issue in the Philippines. Whether it would be a regular citizen or a famous star in the country, no one is excused of the matter. It is undeniably a sinful crime, and a law was even passed on to the Philippines that punish unfaithful partners. Many people are baffled with the idea of cheating. Thus, researchers have decided to conduct researches about the case. Psychologists have brought about the different reasons cheaters possibly cheating once again in their current relationship or in another relationship. Now, if you've noticed here, I didn't proceed immediately explaining, or I did not cut this sentence out right after I said many people are baffled with the idea of cheating. It is because you need to provide transition before you proceed there. You want your audience to know, or your readers to know, that you are now going to be explaining the reasons as to cheating happening again, as to cheaters cheating again after just right after they cheated. This is a transitioning sentence, a transitional sentence. So right after this, I have now explained about cheaters high and attachment insecurity. So in this part here, I've explained what cheaters high is and what it does to the person that is cheating. And then right after here, I've also wrote down here attachment insecurity is likely going to cause infidelity because it is more likely going to stray both these people from their commitment, and then etc etc. So I still gather this from a source I wrote here. I credited the people who did this, who wrote this. And then lastly, we have our conclusion. So like what I did here, I wrote in the summarization of my arguments and then my concluding statement. So in the summarization of arguments, you just write in what you wrote, write about in your paragraphs before, but make it more shorter. I mean, make it a lot shorter. So in here, we have here just one sentence of this paragraph over here. Over here, I only summarized it using one sentence, and then the rest as well. I even added here the reasons as to why cheaters will likely cheat again, and then the reasons. And then lastly, therefore, this is now my concluding statement. Therefore, cheaters will always be cheaters. So what happens in the concluding statement is that you restate your thesis statement. So you just restate it. So my thesis statement was cheaters will always be cheaters. And so I restated here again that cheaters will always be cheaters. So that is what happens in the conclusion. Now, you have to remember that when you are going to be writing an academic text, you still need to follow the features of an academic text, and those are not to use contractions, not to use slangs, jargons, and if you've noticed, there are no first person pronouns present in this essay because it is supposed to be an academic essay or an academic text. So you still need to follow every feature that an academic text is supposed to have. But for now, this is only discussing how to create an outline using, yes, how to create an outline. So I hope you've learned something in this video, and if you did, that's good for you. But if you didn't, if you have any confusions, you can just PM me or send a private message directly to me, or you can just comment it down below if you want, and I'll I'll answer, and I will answer that. That is all for this video. Adios.